So welcome to another Wedge Wednesday. Today we're just going to have a little look at I feel like a medium to distance type of a wedge shot, and just a common fault that we sometimes see that players make moving into the backswing. Now what we've got here, just you can see if I do a quick close-up on the club, is a little sort of tennis ball split in two colours. So red side is on the club face side, yellow side on the back side of the shaft. And what we want you to make sure is when you're playing these wedge shots, let's make sure we're putting a little loft on this club face. A common fault we see is players will keep the club face looking too much towards the ground. This left wrist, for me, the lead wrist, starts to work too much into flexion in this sort of manner. What that does is it closes the club face. So from here we can get that leading edge just digging in. Not ideal, especially when it's a bit soggy out there as it's getting at the minute. So what we want to try and create is a look whereby we'd still have a little cup or a little what we term as extension in that left wrist for the player. And you can see with the help of the training aid how the red side of the ball is sort of facing up rather than still facing down to the ground. The other fault we see as well is because of this wrist motion, the club head gets too far behind the player's hands, and because of the length of the swing we haven't got the rest of the swing to try and organize this, and the club can very easily bottom out a little early. So a good checkpoint for you, take it back to shaft level with the ground, and can you see two things? Can we see the club head covering my hands in the mirror there on my back wall, and all the grooves on the club face point up towards the sky. It's not sort of down and in here. And by doing that, we're going to put a bit of bounce on the club face. Sorry, we're going to put some loft on the club face, which is going to help to expose the bounce and just give us a little more wiggle room down there at the bottom, so the club can, I'm going to say, glide a little bit better across the ground and just help you pop it up and in the air. So just feel the face opening up ever so slightly. Club tends to then just stay a little more out in front of the hands, and by doing that we can just expose a little more of the loft and just get that ball just popping up and into the air a little bit. And then by doing that we can then just use the loft a little bit better. So here's your checkpoint. Let's get you back to shaft level with the ground. Does the club head cover the hands, and can you see the lines on that club face straight up to the sky?